Okay, cool. So I'll share screen. I hope my screen is visible. So first, we will today start a new project. So for that, in second session we have learned how to do installation and stuff. So yeah. So once we open Android Studio, such screen will appear. Here with all the project will be there, and just click on New Flutter project. It's not even right. Okay. So here you can click next. If you wanted to build app using Java, you can choose this. But yeah, for now we are using Flutter. So click next. Give name. So today we will build a to-do app. So I will give to-do app, right? And organization to-do. And we'll do latest technology, Kotlin and Swift. Also, web support will not needed as of now. And yeah, that's it. And that will be saved here. And I will click on finish. So it will take some time to like start a boiler code. So it started. So yeah, so once project is started, you can close this window tip. Yeah. So once project is started, this is a new project, fresh project. We just started. Just click on Android and select project files. So all files will be there. So here you can see all the files: iOS file, Android file, and as I told you yesterday, we have to write code in lib folder inside main, right? Okay. So up to now, everyone is clear, I guess. It is basic. So yeah, so let's start. So first we will remove, build a app. It will take some time to build. So here is my screen. Mobile screen is there. I will start. So I have connected to mobile. So I will choose, and yes, I will build the app. Like start an app. So for first time, it will take some time to build. Okay. So up till then we can start coding also, no issue. So yeah, remove everything from here. So I will select all, just keep my app there, and I have removed everything. So as I told you yesterday, that we have to start the app using, there are two type of widget, stateful and stateless. So in to-do app, like its screen is changing. Suppose we added some task, then new task will appear there. So for that we will need stateful widget, right? So we will start the app using stateful less widget, and we will then that part where we will add the list that we will create using stateful widget, right? So let's start stateless widget. We will call it my app itself. So here my app, and this will run. Then we have two options like material app for Android and like Kubernetes and all that for iOS. So as of now we are going to build for Android. So we will use material app guideline. Material app, okay. And material app have some properties. So one of them is home, right? And home, inside home we'll give some widget, right? So as of now I will give some widget like let's say to do, screen, right? So I have given the to-do screen here. So we also need to create to-do screen widget to access it. So for that, I will go to the, like, I can write code here as well in main, and or I will create a new file for writing separate code to make it very clean. So I will create a new file. Inside file, I will call it to do screen dot. The extension of files is dot, like dot c, dot c plus plus. In same way, for Flutter, we are using dot language, so dot, and I will click enter. So in C++ we import many packages like std.io and something. So in same way in Dart also we need to import a package. So for we are using material app, right? And we are using the material app guidelines. So for that we will need this package, right? So I will import the same package. Uh, just a minute. I will I use the same package in this file also. So I will just click import and that material, like flutter.material. So I imported the file, so I will use all the content of this file. Okay. So app is running. So that was a demo app. So it was a demo app. So we have removed the code from there, right? So yeah, I will refresh so it will not show. Just like, okay. It's stuck somewhere. Okay, so this is starting code main. We have running the app, which app? My app. Inside my app, we are running this code, right? And inside that, we are going using material app, and we are going to do screen. So we didn't declare to do screen yet, so the error is there, but we are going to declare it. So we'll go here and import the material library, and we'll use stateful easy. Why stateful? Because we are going to change like screen. The content of the screen will be changed as soon as we added some uh, some list. So we'll use that. So I will call it to do screen. Okay, and I will click. And here also it is showing red line because we didn't provide the file of like how main file will know like there is to do screen we have declared. So we need to import this file inside main, right? So for that I will import and I will type to do screen. So here you can see to do, and now the error has gone, right? I can add constant. Okay, so it will show a black screen. So now we will need some page to like where we can draw all the UI, right? So for that, what we are using, I told you yesterday, is start from yes. So anyone from you can answer in chat section. So we are using scaffold, right? Scaffold. Inside scaffold, we will build some apps. So white screen, and inside scaffold we have many properties like app bar, body, right? So we'll use app bar. In app bar, we will use app bar widget. Okay, so app bar widget. So app bar have many properties like title, title spacing, title text style, item, action, right? So we are going to use title property, and we are going to give widget. So every in widget we'll give just name like to do, right? So that app bar is conveyed. So simple stuff. I will explain once again. Program start from main, run app. Then inside that we are running my app. Inside my app we are using material app guidelines, and that has property home. It is also widget, material app is also widget, and we are going to home screen. So where is home screen? Where to do screen. To do screen we are declaring separate file. So we have imported that file to do screen. So now we are coding inside to do screen, right? So to do screen has scaffold, like that white stuff, and we are drawing the UI now here, right? So inside scaffold we have added the app bar, and here is app bar, right? And inside app bar there is title, right? So now we are going to add one button here, right? What we call it, the Flutter action button, right? Floating button we call it. So let's just type floating action button, right? So floating action button is property, so we are providing it a widget. Let's say widget floating action button, okay? And floating action button has two properties. There are many properties, but two properties we are going to use. So we will use child. So in child we will give icon, right? So I have declared one icon yesterday also. So I will icons dot. I would like to give add sign there, plus sign there. So we will add it, and on press we will do nothing as of now, and we just add mobile select. Okay. So yeah, you can see here the button is added, right? So how we can come to know that button is working or not? So for that we will print something in terminal. So we can type in terminal, right? Print I am working, right? So if I press this button and if this message is printed, then like my button is working, right? So yeah. So here you can see the in terminal, it shows I am working, right? So your button is working properly. So now we'll add body here, right? So for that we are going to use text. So just let me charge my laptop. Okay, so we'll use body. Inside body we can add many things, right? So as of now I will add text. Yesterday also we see A, B, C, and yes. Text is appearing, so body is also working properly, right? So now we have added everything. So we will need to add list here. Like this. Once we click on this button, that pop-up should come here, right? So before proceeding, I would like to tell you one, like introduce one widget that is a list view. In list view, we can add many, like in column also, we can add many childrens, right? But that is column is limited. But in list view, we can scroll it if multiples, more than many many titles are there or many tasks we have added, then it should scroll, right? So for that we use list view, and list view has property like children, and inside children we can add as many children as we want, right? So we can add list title one of, and then we'll give title, and then we'll give text here, and we'll add a task one, right? So task one is appearing, right? And also, suppose we wanted to delete that task, some delete functionality should be there, right? So for that, we'll use property of list view, that is uh, and we'll use icon here, icon, and we'll use delete icon here. Don't want it first, you want it. So tailing. So here it will be added, right? So once we click this icon, it should remove this task, right? So yeah, so I will wrap it inside the button because now I won't be able to click it because it is like just icon, not a button. So I need to make it button, right? So I will make it a button. So for that inside, so I will icon button properties there. So inside icon button there is child property and there is also on tap property. On click on tap. On tap. I will do as of now. Some error is there. So I can see the error in Dart section. So on press is required. So I will on pressed. I guess it should be. Let me declare it fresh once again. I missed something. So no error is there. Okay, so icon button. Icon button. Icon button, inside icon button there is property icon and I will provide icon. Not on press functionality on press email. So now it is it will work as a button. So once I click it should do something, right? So as of now I didn't declare anything or to the after, so it will. So yeah, so this is a list title. So the thing, this thing, like this title and this is the list title, right? And where it is inside the list view. So I can add multiple list views there, right? So once I don't see, I can add multiple. Now I will save it. It should be reflect there. It's taking some time. Okay, so you can see the three tasks, right? So, but we are not going to manually add every time inside the code. It should be added like in app itself. So, what I'll do, what facility we need to maintain? Like click on this button, then some pop-up should be there. We will add the content there, and that content should appear here, right? Such app we need to build. So, for that we will declare some functions there, right? So first we will declare a string, right? So let the string. So you might be know the array. How many of you know the array? Do you guys know what is array? Array. Have you learned array in C++ or C? You have learned array in C++, but yeah. So here in Dart we call it list. So it is somewhat same like an array, right? So we will declare list, like you can consider it as array. We have declared the array. So and we'll use the final tag there. So list we'll use and list have which type of list. So for that we can declare array of anything, right? We are in C++ we have declared array of characters, array of integers, array of double, right? So here we are going to use array of string, right? and we'll name it like to-do list, we can say, right? And as of now, we will declare it empty, right? So for that, it is a syntax and empty. So we have declared an empty string. So this string has nothing, right? This is empty. So what we'll do, once we call this function, some string should appear inside that, right? So we need to add it. So for that, we'll declare some. Okay, give me some minute. I will drink some water. So we'll now develop a pop-up stuff, right? We need to, once we click on it, some pop-up should appear, right? And so for that we'll write code. So we can write code here for pop-up, right? So we call it alert dialog, right? So dialog, that is pop-up will come there. I will show you once it implemented, so you will understand it, right? So so let's start. We'll call it future because it will appear later, right? Or it will be like build after clicking on this button. So we will use future tag here, and what we need in future, that we can say we need alert dialog. So here you can say alert dialog is there, and we'll call it pop-up, show pop-up, pop-up, show pop-up. Okay. And we'll provide it some context, build context, and we'll call it build context, and we'll return show dialog, right? And inside that we will declare all that inside. So once we call show pop-up, it will return show dialog as a widget, right? So for that we need to pass the context. So we'll pass the same context like this context, build context, and this is simple syntax. We'll learn as we proceed, and as we do hands-on practice on that. It's you might be thinking how we could remember all that stuff, but slowly and gradually, once you started developing apps, you will remember this stuff very easily, right? So first time you might find it difficult, right? What is build context, what is build, and when we come to know that where to declare what, so that you will learn slowly and gradually, right? So builder, okay, build context, and we also declare builder, right? So inside builder, once again we need to pass build context. Sorry. Build context we need to pass, and also the same thing, and yeah, and we need to return alert dialog. Okay. So I hope I have written everything right. So we can see the error here as well. So it's showing the value of future dynamic could not be returned. We can read the error, so we get to know, because it is return type is future error. So we'll add it dynamic here, so it will resolve my issue. Dynamic means any type of content can be written in future. So yeah, my error has gone. So yeah, and what I need to do, I need to call this pop-up function once I click on this button, that plus button, right? So I will call it there. So here we have written the code of floating action button, right? This is floating action button, code of this button. and here I have printed I am working, right? Below that I will call this function pop-up, and I will pass the context. So this context I need to pass, and yeah, now it should work, right? So I will click on this button and let's see what we can see. So it shows nothing because we didn't add anything inside alert dialog, but just some black ingredients is appearing there, right? I will click outside and I will declare some property there. So alert dialog has many properties. One of them is title. So we will give text here and we will enter add task. Okay, so I will save it. There is error. So this file I need to remove. Okay. And yeah, so I will click this button once again and let's see, some title should appear there. So yeah, add task pop-up is there. So below that we will use some text field where we can enter our input, right? So yeah, so for that we will use one, we have used title. Now we will use it has many content. So inside content we can add many things. So I will declare it as text field. So inside text field we can add like text. We can input our value, like our task we can say. So yeah, so let's see how it's look. So here you can say add task is there, and here I can like type, right? Okay, so this is done, and also I need to add some buttons there like save or cancel, right? So for that I need some action to be done on pop-up, right? So for that we can declare one property, that is action property, and inside action property we can have many actions. So through which we do action through buttons or through tapping, long press, just tap, right? So we will use like a flat button there, and now it's decreasing, but no issue. And yeah, flat button had child, and inside child we will view the text we can view, right? And we'll call it done or add, and we'll give another also same. I will copy paste and we'll call it cancel. Okay. So there will be there same answer. Sometimes this file get added. We need to remove that. Okay, so two buttons should appear now. One is add and second one is cancel, right? So I'll click on it. You can see like add is added and cancel button is added, right? So I will change the position of both the buttons. Add should be here and cancel should be here. So I will open that once again. So yeah, cancel is here and add is there. Okay. So yeah, this is done. Now what we have to do, we have to, once we click on this button, we have added the text. That text should go inside this list, or you can say in this array, right? So for that we need to give some like we will create some functions, right, to make our code much better and readable, right? We can add everything inside that, but it will be not for user. Like if I share that code with you, then it will be difficult to understand, right? So for that we need to declare functions. I hope everybody knows what function is and how it works, right? In C++ also, if you wanted to do some task repeatedly, what we do, we declare some functions, right? And we call that function. We didn't write code again and again, right? So here also we need to add a task again and again. So we'll declare function and we'll call it whenever it's required, right? So for that, we'll now Okay, so we'll declare one function here. So one we have declared the pop-up, right? And pop also, I guess, one thing I forgot to mention, right? We are going to add something in text, right? So that text need to save somewhere, so we can add that later. So for that, we need to declare some text controller, which control the text. So for that, the simple syntax is there. Final we can add, and text editing controller we call it text editing controller, and we'll give some name like same text editing controller, and we'll declare it. Okay. So that controller we use in text field, so we can like add the text there and we can save it, right? So for that, just in controller and text editor controller. That's it. So now once we can extract the string, whatever we type here, from this variable, we can call it. Right. So for that we have declared that this text field has this controller, and from this controller we can extract the string and add that string inside this list. Okay. So yeah, cancel. Okay, that is done, and yeah. So let's uh, like declare some function to add the string, right? So for that, we'll use void. We don't go, we are not going to return anything. We're just going to add that inside that this. Okay. So for that, uh, we can call it add string in list. String in list. So declare this function, and we'll provide string here and string, right? And we'll call it let's say title of our task. And yeah, and here we'll do, we'll call this to-do list, and we'll add it, right? And we'll provide this title inside that title. So once we call this function and pass the title, that title will be added to to-do list, and to-do list is here. So that title goes inside this list, right? So this is done. So and once we have added, we also need to clear the text editing controller, right? There might be some content. So we will call it text editing controller and clear. So whatever we have typed, right? Suppose I open this and I have typed this, right? And I have click on added. So this content should be clear for next. So it will not appear there for adding next task. Or if you didn't clear it, what will you, suppose I have written like bring milk, and I have added that into our task, and I need to so then later on I'm going to add another task. At that time that content will be there like add milk, but I need to give another content there. So once we added it, it should be cleared from text box. So for that we are using this clear, right? Text editing control clear everything from text field, right? What it means. And this is what, and let's say yeah, and this is just a string, but these task 1, task 2 are widget. So this title, these are widget, right? So we need to build this widget. We are not going to manually add. So for that also we are going to add one function, right? And where we can fetch all the widget, right? This widget, string 1, string 2, and we are not going to like suppose I have declared 10 tasks here, right? I have added 10 tags inside the string. I am not going to write this list title 10 times. So I will just build one function where I can call all the list titles, whatever it may be. whatever number, 100, 200, 1, 2, 3. So I'm not going to use it again and again, right? Nobody wants to declare it again and again, right? So for that also I will add one function, right? To build this list title, right? And get it inside the children, right? So this is for adding it inside the string. So now second one is to build this list title, right? And the third one will be to fetch all the list title inside the children, right? So I will explain one by one. Don't worry, I will explain again also. So to summarize, so one I added into the string. The second I will use to build the text field, right? So let's start. So I will call it build. Let's say don't want to like return. No. This time here I don't need to return anything because I have written wide, right? And I am didn't returning anything inside that function. But here I need to return this widget. So I will write widget because I am going to return the widget, right? So widget, and I will call it build widget. I can call it build list widget. List title list title widget. Okay, and I will pass it the string I need to pass. And yeah, and I need to return something. So I will call it return. And it should return what it should return, the list title. This list title should return list title it should return, and list title should have what it should have, title. And in title what we'll pass string, sorry, text, right? And text should have some string, and this string will pass whatever we get it, right? Whatever we get it from pop-up, that string we are going to pass. So I just write string there, right? So I hope up to now everything is clear. And yeah, so what is it does? It just like building these titles, right? One title, two titles. Suppose I have declared this build title here as well, so it will return the same, right? And the third function I need to return where I can bring all these titles, multiple titles inside one, right? So for that we'll call it like let's say um, you can call it anything. What here we need a list, right? So this is a list. Inside that 1 2 3 4 we are adding multiple things. So we are it should return list of widget. It is returning list of string, but we are not adding. This is not a string, this is a widget. Inside that the task one is a widget, right? So let's say list title it should return it is list, and type of list is list title, right? And suppose anyone have any doubt, they can raise your hand. So we'll unmute and like clear your doubt if any. So we have completed like I guess 70%. Just 20% is remaining to build that. So do you guys have any doubt? You can raise your hand. We'll unmute you and solve your doubt. Okay, so no issue. We'll continue. So we'll call it, let's say, get all items, get all, just one, that's it. Get all widget we will call, or get all tasks. Okay, and yeah, and we need to return some list there, right? So we will declare some list also here. So for that list, and because we are going to add multiple tasks inside that list, right? So we will Like here we have added how many 3 we have added, but sometimes it might be 5, sometimes it might be 7, sometimes it might be only 1. So we are going to use for loop. You guys might be knowing the for loop to add multiple items we use. Do you guys know the for loop? If you know, just raise your hand. For loop, I am asking about. Have you guys learned for loop? Cool, cool. So yeah, so let's use that for loop here as well, right? So first I will declare like a widget here. Like we need to return widgets, and I will call it my widgets, my list widget, and yeah, declare it empty. As of now, it is empty, and we are going to return this widget, right? Return my list widget. That's it. And before that, okay. So here in data analytics, we can see all there, so we can read it and solve that. So yeah, so I have declared one another list, that is we can call array, and I have returned that array. But before proceeding, I need to put all the text or all the text or all the strings inside this widget. So there are 4 strings. I need to put that 4 string inside here inside this widget, this list, and this list we will return here in list title. So there are 3 now. So there might be 4, 5, 6. That this is a string, right? Task one is string. This store inside here in here to do list string. This, so I need to convert this string in such titles, right? And this title, this whole titles I need to return. So I have the strings. So I just building from this string. I am building this list title in second function. That is, in this function I am building the list title, and in third function I am like compiling it all and adding it, returning it to the list children, right? So here I will use for loop, right? So for loop, so string, I will call it title in which to do list, and I will add that list in to do what I have called it build to do widget. Yeah, to do, sorry, this my list widget, my list widget. I will call it add, and value of that. So there I will add build list title widget, and I will pass the string. So for that I will pass title. So yeah. So up to here, I hope everyone is clear. First, the string is added inside this list, string list. Then the widgets are built, list widget, and all widgets are compiled inside here. So I will call this function here now. I will not declare this again and again. I just call one function, right? I will turn on my phone. So yeah, I will remove it. This title ends here. This title ends here. And I will just stop. So currently it is only one is there. One is task is there. Okay, my connection is lost. No issue. I will build it once again. No issue. So I'm building the app once again. I don't know why it disconnected, but yeah, let it be. So now I will call that function. Which function? This. Get all tasks inside list view. Here. So I will remove everything, and this syntax also. Get all tasks. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, this is done, and we are also need to add tasks, right? So for that, we need to wait for some time because it is building once again, so it might take some time. Okay. So it will appear there. So yeah, up to there we can do the further coding. Wait. Okay, so it has built and it is installing now. Installing will app output Flutter.apk file inside my app. It is my physical device. So what we need to declare now? So here we have added one pop-up, right? So here is pop-up, and we on press on add, it should add it like the text should add it inside this inside this to-do list, right? So that code we need to write. So here is code of our add, and here I will write the code to add it inside the this widget, right? So to-do list, then add, and value of string, that is we can call text controller dot text. So that value is added into the to-do list, right? And once we click on, so let's see how it looks. I will let it press the press and connection interrupt. Once again, the connection is lost. Why it's happening, I don't know. I will build it, no issue. So yeah, so that process is done, and the second thing, once we cancel, that pop-up should be removed, right? So for that, we'll use the functionality that is navigation dot pop. If you know that, if you have learned the like stack, you might be knowing the pop and push, right? So I am removing that pop up if the cancel is button is pressed. So I just navigate the pop and I have passed the content. So cancel, if cancel is push, press, then pop functionality will be done, and if it is added, then that list will be added inside there. So yeah, just wait. The app is building. So it's done, I guess. So we'll see. My device is getting disconnected. So it's building once again. So I will just summarize the code from once again. Just in quick. So function is started. Main, the app is running my app. Inside my app, we are calling to-do screen. So we have declared to-do screen in another file. So here it is. Here is to-do screen, right? So we have declared one list which is storing only list, and the second variable is take editing controller to get the text whatever we have entered, right? And the functions I will explain the function as well. So here we have added the add string in list function. So this function, if you call this function, it will add the string inside to-do list, right? So this function we need to call. add string in list. Okay. Uh, yeah, sorry. So here I have declared directly I have added like inside the to do. So if I added directly, that will also work, but we have declared the function here. So we can use this function as well. So I will use this function, right? And I will pass the string, this string. It will also work, but yeah, we have declared function, so why not? So this is done, and so yeah, so this we have added that string, the text whatever we will receive on pop-up inside that to-do list inside that array, and in second function we have built the widgets, right? So list title widget we have built it, and in third function we have getting all the widget inside list, right? This is only one widget, that list title, and this is a list of widget, right? Array of widget we can call, and we are giving this get all task to to our body list view inside. So currently there is no task is there, right? So I will add one task. So I will tell you again one thing, like I will going to add, but it will not appear there. I will tell you the reason behind it. So let's say like assignment. Let's say CPP assignment, and I will click add. So it got added, right? But it is not appearing there. Why? Because it is added inside the string, but we have not refreshed the whole screen, right? So we need to refresh whole screen whenever we added something, right? So for that we will use set state function. That is very important. So that set state function we will going to use here. Uh, so this is very important function. If you didn't call this function, that text will be go inside the string, but that will be stored in database only. That will be not appearing on the screen. For that, we need to refresh the whole screen. And to refresh the whole screen, we need to call this function set function. And inside that, we can declare this to do list. So I will just save it, and now first task should be appear there. So CPP assignment is appearing there, right? And yeah, and one more thing, once I added, that pop-up is not going, right? Once I click on add button, it should remove, right? That pop-up should close. So for that also, we are going to use this same function, navigator pop. We need to pop this one, this pop-up. So for that, I will use here also. I will declare the same thing. If I cancel, then the string will be not get added. It will directly cancel, right? But if I click on add, the string should be get added inside it, and then it should close. So I will enter in this way. So I will just refresh it, and I will show you now. Let's say now math assignment, and I click on add. So it got added, but if yeah, so but it is not popping. So because I need to run it 1 second. Okay. So I hope that our to-do app is built. So just I will run it, and I will show you how to make Apk file of it. So very simple app is there. Like just call it, and three functions are there to add it into stream, to build the widget, and to add all the widget inside the array. So now I will add assignment one, and I will click on add. I just click on add, and that pop also removed. So this pop functionality is working now, right? So I can add as many tasks I want, right? Add. You all are very good students. Add. Okay, so I can add as many uh, to-do a task as I want. So it's done. Suppose you wanted to build APK file, just go to the build. There you go to the Flutter and build. Click on build APK. So once you have click on build APK, it will give you APK file. It will take some time for 5 minutes maybe. Then it will give you APK file. You can share that APK file with your friends and install that app in your friend's mobile as well. So yeah, so that was for today. I hope everyone has get something like I know some concept might be not clear to you, but yeah, you are in first year and just started learning it. So yeah, slowly and gradually you can learn it. You can do more hands-on practice. You can build a simple app like just enter your name on the app, right? Hi, I am Aditya, like something like that. So such app you can build, and yeah, I am confident enough that you all will like learn app development. Yeah, and if you have any doubt, you can like contact me as well. So yeah. So how was your session? Like, did you guys enjoy this session? So if you enjoy, just reply with love or this or yeah or thumbs up maybe like. Okay, cool. So that is so Pradyuman we can conclude.
Guys, for attending the session. Any doubts, can contact the. I will paste the contact links on triangle chat box. It takes value.
Thank you, Pradyuman. Thank you for inviting. Okay, guys, then bye bye. Have a nice, good night.